Hey, it's that season where we eating this food for no reason. Hey, come on, it's the season where we eating this food for no reason.
We have too
Welcome
much
back.
fun. I kid you not. We have way too much fun.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Fitness Headspace Podcast. And let me not forget, go ahead and get the intros out the way. I am Joy Monique. This is Deion Avril. We are your fitness coaches, wellness coaches, mindset, everything, mind, body, spirit connection. We are your mentors for this. So this week, y'all, we're getting into a very, I say, timely topic because holidays are just creeping on up. Every 2 days is another month. So here we go. Once again, Thanksgiving is next week.
Yeah.
This year has flown by. When I tell you. So we survived 2021. Now we got to survive Thanksgiving. So here we are talking about how to go about tackling the holidays, trying to stay on target, trying to keep this weight goal popping. Wow, we have so many plates and influences and family members and everything going on left, right, up, and down. So we're going to get into this conversation today. So to kind of kick things off, y'all, it's a few things for us to kind of unpack when it comes to holidays. It's various things that we have to kind of like work through. Of course, it's the food because that's what the holidays about. It's about everybody coming together over the table, being with family, if you can be with family right now, and being able to enjoy all this beautiful home cooked meal that all this love was just poured into and everything. But then I kind of also want to dive into the mental aspect of it as well, because it has been a very trying year for a lot of us. And everything starts up here and it kind of just works its way through how you manage your weight, how you handle the holidays, how you consume your food. So we're going to just kind of get into a little bit of everything. So at least start with the food aspect. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, of course, whether or not you can kind of, depending on whether or not you're actually cooking your own food or going over to a family's house who's going to be cooking the food for you, it's very important to think about, to kind of like prepare to the lead up to Thanksgiving. I know kind of like to just get very relaxed for the entire month, as far as like the whole season when it comes to Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's like you can kind of end up, being more relaxed on your diet for that entire season. But keep in mind, y'all, these are holidays, not holiday months. So definitely keep in mind that it's okay to really enjoy yourself for that day of that holiday. We're still gonna give you the tips as far as how to prepare for it, but let's not have this go into where every day we're eating like dressing and pot roast and all this extra heavy food for that the entire season. So first rule of thumb is that when it comes to the holidays, eat light. Eat light early in the day, light breakfast, light lunch, because even when trying to keep your portions under control, the food is going to be a lot more, dense in calories. It's going to be a larger part of your meal. It's going to be towards that evening time, however you want to put it. So the best way to try to, look out for yourself and kind of cut back on your portion size would be to kind of take things a little bit easier to the lead up of Thanksgiving. So this week, make sure you're definitely going strong as far as your workouts, being consistent on your meals, keeping the meal preps together up into the day of Thanksgiving. And that way, when the day comes, like I said, eat light, prepare your body to be able to possibly consume a little bit more calories for later on that evening. But of course, you mostly about, spending time with your family and everything. But I kind of want to get into how to, for those of us who are actually going to be, making our own food for Thanksgiving, how to actually go about preparing these lovely meals. And I'm gonna let Chef Deion. If y'all been to the website, y'all know what I mean. I'm gonna let Chef Deion talk, kind of give us some tips about how to really go about preparing our Thanksgiving meals.
For sure. A light asterisk on the side of chef. We're still working in progress. Um, but yeah, so like holidays is just it's a really great time for us, like we said, getting together and really just spending that time and definitely being more appreciative of the time that we have spent away from one another. So I think the one thing that I would always tell everybody to be very aware of when we're, cooking our foods, whatnot, with grandma, whoever the case is, different places, different areas, we all make our food differently, but
Yeah.
stay away from processed foods. Okay, so if you could stay away from as many things that have a lot of different chemicals that might be harmful to your body. Also the thing is like, I hate to burst people's bubble, but I know like some people like ham and all this other stuff, which is cool and all, but you have to be mindful of the fact that has a lot of processed ingredients, whether it's preservatives, types of salts, whatever, all that stuff. Um, I used to be a huge fan of ham, but the honey glazed. So thinking about how much sugar and how much of that, the brown sugar itself, how much it has on there. These are just things that I'm thinking out, just off the top of my head. I'm just like, damn, if I would have took the opportunity to really just think about this while, going through this whole journey years ago, I might be a little bit, off a little bit differently. But, that's neither here or there. Now, the reason why I think, processed food is also really important to stay away from is knowing what you have within your ingredients list and what's being used while you're cooking. So there's nothing worse than to buy a, processed piece of ham or meat or whatever, and you're looking at the ingredient list, you're like, try Dexla, what? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Meanwhile, again, we're consuming it.
If we can't pronounce it, we shouldn't be eating it. So that, like, at least 2 episodes ago, eat what you out.
And that's just
for a lot of this.
right. Yeah. And my thing is like that should be just more of a common courtesy, like of checking. Like, let me just go ahead and just do this just to see what it means or what it is. But that's one of the other things. And the last thing, which is so important, and we don't even think about it. So, like you said, the food being more calorically dense. There's nothing worse than to eat food that's so dense and it has so many calories, but the food was complete shit. Like, if we're gonna be real with you, you know what I mean? So it's like, damn, I just ate X, Y, and Z, and I'm still hungry, or it pretty much made me surpass my calories with a small amount of whatever it is. I don't want to say any food in particular because I got some food that's close to my heart, so I'm gonna say nothing.
Okay.
But let's say like within the island we cook like rice and macaronis and stuff like that. So if anybody who knows about pasta's in a small amount, right? So your 3 ounces, 4 ounces, when you really put on a scale, it's like, damn, that's it. Like that's 3 ounces. Like that's all. So the crazy part is you can eat those, for that pasta, and usually we're eating a decent amount. So this alone, like, being about that thick, like if it's regular lasagna or something of that sort, like in that size, we're looking at anywhere between 800 to 1200, 1300 calories. Easy between all the cheese, the meat, the pasta. Like, people don't realize.
I even accounting in for the collard greens, the dressing, I count for the baked beans, I count for this pound cake on the side.
That's turkey.
Turkey, the honey glazed ham that Deion tried to come for early. I used to love a good honey glazed ham. Not even going by.
Listen, I call it like it is, and I, like I said, I used to be weak for it too. Don't forget my Hawaiian king bread. All we straight, we good. We're gonna have a good day, and they gotta be the sweet ones. It can't be the originals,
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, see, look, we already in that festive, So let me take myself out of this situation. So those are the things that you want to be mindful of, especially with processed foods. The other thing is you want to add in more vegetables. So like we said, whether it's collard greens, whether it's, green beans, whatever, your family cooks or whatever you're comfortable with cooking, even if you do something like sounds crazy on Thanksgiving, but something similar to a stir fry, where you have a good variety and a good mix of all different types of greens as well too. Excuse me.
Think outside the box comes to your food. It's like, we have like our very traditional, like, food items, but it's okay to kind of like, venture out, add a little bit more, gets holiday unconventional foods to your meal. That way you're still able to enjoy your macaroni and cheese, whatever like that, and then have some healthier elements. That way you can kind of, in a sense, balance things out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's what's really ironic. Like, at what point did all of these type of meals become the staple of Thanksgiving? Sure. So you can also start creating your own tradition. That's the way I look at it as well. So although this has been a thing that people have been celebrating for years, why not make it your own? Why do it the same way that everybody else is doing it? So if you have, for example, we got a group of friends, 5, 6, 7 different friends coming through to the crib, and everybody has that one dish that they just fire at making, bring that bitch over. Bring it over. Like let's figure this out. Like let's make it work. I mean, I ain't gonna be too worried about calories and macros today, but at least like we said, things are going to be in moderation. It won't be something where it's, a crazy amount where it's just like, okay, well, I feel completely, out of whack, which we'll talk about. But the most important part with your vegetables is the fact that they do have, antioxidants. They have different vitamins, nutrients, different minerals, and they are very beneficial for, weight management as well too, due to the fact that they are going to be a little bit more satiating. And also they keep you, I mean, essentially satiating is full. So you don't necessarily have to worry about eating so much. Because what ends up happening is, for example, broccoli, having, or certain different types of vegetables too, have a lot of water. So you chewing, and it has fiber too. So at that point, you're just like, yo, I think I'm good right now. I think I'm good, But like we said, everything is going to be in moderation. And then, the next thing is to, even this is, I guess this is going to like in a continuation while you're in, your time with in your time, but during the time that you're spending with your family, what I want everybody to be conscious of is chewing your food a lot slower. A lot of people who have digestion issues, especially when we're talking about that day in particular, is due to the fact of y'all chewing too fast. Y'all eating too fast.
It's like it goes on the fork right to your mouth, like right down the throat. Not even trying to get processed in between. You trying to hurry up and get into the conversation. You just so so and so whatever. But take it easy, take it slow, take it down, and savor the flavors. I think if you're like, what's up doing it like that? Like I really want to. Somebody had poured, either yourself or somebody had really poured time, effort, and love into making this food. Don't just try to rush through it. Like show them that you really do enjoy this food, that you really do appreciate the time that it's spent making this feast for you. Like take your time, eat it slow, let it process, let it really, that way, as things go down, you're not having to eat as much food, like how Deion was mentioning. You're feeling a lot more full, longer, and that way you're able to, you're still going to get the feelings of like, having your favorite food without having to over consume, because the faster you eat, your body's not recognizing that you're full, like within that same kind of timely manner. So taking your time is really going to help you in the longer run. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And like we said, that the most important part about eating slow is, one, your digestion. Two, you still have more food to eat. You still have more food to eat. Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and act like people are not gonna eat next week. Y'all know y'all gonna eat. But we say all that just to say, as you're consuming your food, just make sure that you have the opportunity to enjoy it, savor the food, enjoy the conversation and the talks that you're having, but at the same time, managing how you're chewing will help your digestion so you don't have to sit around feeling so uncomfortable. Which is why I'm going to go ahead and pass this back off to you, Joy, to give some of our lovely tips on how to deal with that digestion and also some other ways as well as far as overeating.
Oh, yes. And one thing that I was about, as well is actually, drink some water in between these meals for Thanksgiving. Like, we're going to have the folks do eggnog during Thanksgiving. I do. As soon as it's available on the stores, I know I love me a good eggnog. But whether it's an eggnog, a soda, a juice, a wine, whatever like that, like having water while you're eating your meals as well, of course, help with that digestion, helping everything kind of get processed a little bit like more smoothly. And would help, of course, that feeling of you feeling fuller. But the main thing for us to really focus on for the holidays is your portion control. Because this time of year, I don't talk to people too much about particularly what they eat for that day. Of course, like I said earlier in the episode, keep things light for early in the day because you are going to naturally end up eating a little bit heavier towards that evening time. And because generally how we want you to eat is that have the heavier meals earlier, and with this holiday, it's not really going to be possible unless y'all going to have the meal start at like 12 o'clock, which I know my family sure is not. So I'm not sure how y'all's operate. We end up being later on, in the day. So being able to, take your time, have fun like that, we're able to, try different things that's, that's open to you to have during that meal. A little bit of mac and cheese, a little bit of rice and peas, a little bit of greens, collards, green beans, whatever like that, a little slice of ham. That way you're still able to get a taste for everything, but not have like a huge plate that you're looking at to where that you're going to end up wanting to consume the whole thing. Like, kind of like how we said, I think a few episodes back, where it's like, if you have this large plate with all this food on it, your mind is going to be like, I have to finish this plate. Not only were you groomed to do that, during your upbringing, depending on your culture or whatever, but it's like, you're going to see this plate. It's like, okay, I don't want to just like, I'm wasting food. So let me try to eat everything on your plate. And like I said, depending on the culture, you might not want to waste that food because it's going to be looking like, oh, you're going to just waste all this food that we done up. Like somebody else could have ate that. I had that plate to go, whatever like that. So having either a smaller plate that way you're able to hold less, and then as well having the smaller portions is going to be what's going to help you guys to kind of still stay on track during these holidays. And then of course, as far as able to still kind of help with that digestion, taking a walk later on. It can be a thing where, after we have this dinner, typically after that it's Black Fridays, and everybody, if the stores are going to be open this year, are they going to be open? I'm pretty sure.
Good question.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia, so they probably going to be open down here, child. So
it's going to be open, mask off and everything. Watch.
Okay, mask off. That's really how our states be. So it's like, if you're able to, go out safely or whatever like that, and able to just not even have to do a quote unquote workout, just find some kind of activity, go out with your family, take a walk through the malls or whatever like that, walk through the neighborhood, find any ways to kind of just stay more active without having to make it like a task for the holiday. It's just, find little ways to keep to be up and moving, that you're able to kind of like, still burn little calories, from what you've already eaten. Keep, like I said, everything about that digestion. So keeping everything flowing that way. So that's going to, and that also help with that feeling of that itis that can come towards the end of eating these good meals, because after you eat all that food and you're just sitting there, pants already done got unbuckled, you're getting real comfortable. It's like at that point it's time to get up. So it's definitely going to be a thing to kind of help you guys, stay on track with everything. And then, being that this has been like a very trying time for us for it's been like 2 years now, which is crazy that we've been in this for like 2 years. That's absolutely crazy. So for those of you guys who are able to, be with your family after all this time, just appreciate the moment to just get back, communion with everybody, catch up, whatever that case may be, safely. If you're even having to have Thanksgiving solo this year because of the state or area that you're in, it's not, quite ready to be back with everybody yet, still find a way to have your own special time during this holiday. Like, use this time to reflect, because at the end of the day, the food, the holiday is like celebrated around food, but the whole theme of it is to be thankful of the year that we've had leading up to this day. We're thankful for the year that we're going to have afterwards. Taking this time to really like think back on this last year, the ups, downs, the good, bad, the uglies, and take time to really appreciate the fact that we're still here, that we're still able to move forward and thrive into 2022. Be happy that, as far as how it's been going for you, even just doing your weight loss, or I guess weight gain, or whatever your weight journey is, taking time to be proud of how far you've come in your journey, being proud, even if you want to start the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, like I'm enjoying myself today, but I know tomorrow it's going to be on and popping, gonna get this thing ready for 2022. So, take this time to really, be within yourself as far as your mind, and get that overall wellness together. Like, we know that the food is going to be enjoyed. You guys now have the tools able to, portion things out, have the right kind of meals, learn how to just switch things up to where, you're able to still enjoy your time there, enjoy the food without feeling like, the guilty feeling afterwards and everything. But to kind of get a quick little recap and roll this thing on in for this episode, because really it's the whole thing about surviving Thanksgiving is just knowing how to get these portions together.
100%.
Like I said, take it light early in the day, Keep the portion sizes cute during the mealtime in the evening. Just enjoy time with, with your family as well. As far as the processed foods, y'all better not have no processed foods during Thanksgiving. Y'all better not.
Watch y'all.
Okay. Because y'all had processed foods all year. It's a time to have some home cooking. Okay. So there didn't be no processed foods. Anyways, keep that thing to a minimum. Plan your meal out. Be mindful of the ingredients you use. And even when you're going, shopping for the groceries up until the time for actually, getting the meals ready for Thanksgiving, take time to check the food for the quality. Make sure that everything is fresh, everything's the right color, firmness, texture, whatever like that. Like, take the time to really be mindful of the food that you're going to be putting into your meals. Just during any time, but especially during this season as well. Chew the food slow. Like I said, savor that flavor. Make sure taste the pepper, the paprika, the garlic. Make sure you really get the full feel. Make sure you get the full feel of how everything was made, and really just take time to really enjoy the time and effort that was put into it. Drink you some water, take you a little walk around the mall afterwards to kind of help things to flow and pass through it nice and smooth. Right after having this really good meal, that we can kind of cut down on that itis feeling as well, because that itis is where a lot of that weight to just stick when you're just in that very sedentary state. So just find a little ways to keep up and moving. A nice fun game, basketball, must, the boys in the family or whatever like that. Bring out the Twister. Twister will definitely get somebody up and moving right there and there. Or if you play spades, somebody during the point of that game is going to be getting up and getting rowdy. So find whatever ways. And that works for y'all. Keep everything in moderation, and don't be afraid to add a little more vegetables to your meals for the holidays as well. I know they end up being like a lot carb and starch based typically, but but healthy ways of incorporating meals, like even cooking your collard greens with vinegar to get that little extra flavor, or however you're going to have your food seasoned. Like it's all about being mindful of the ingredients, and then, like I said, towards the end as well, just keep mindful of what the spirit of the holiday truly is. So being thankful to be there with your family, take this time to really enjoy this time with them. If you're going to be alone, enjoy the time with yourself or with friends. Really sit out and really think, or even, share on the table things that you're honestly thankful for this last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, have this be, even if you wanted to have like a nice end of the year reset to where our minds are going to be prepared to go into the rest of the holiday season, go into 2022. This would be the perfect time right here to put all those good things into place. But that's what we have for y'all for surviving Thanksgiving. So definitely I'm gonna let Deion give his little 2 cents, give the church what's it called? Damn, I haven't been to church in a minute. Y'all do not judge me. I thought I had a word for it. Church benediction. Oh no, that comes earlier. Oh, child, announcements. Deion give the church announcements. We're gonna go ahead and close this thing on now.
We're gonna close the service with no announcements. I think you finish off quite well. We're just gonna leave the service, no ties, no nothing. We just gonna leave it for what it was. No, but seriously, y'all, on a serious tip, there's nothing really much for me to give as far as on my end. I think Joy did a phenomenal job as far as tying everything together. But just being very aware, be very aware, and because we're already in the holiday season, with the kids being off of school and getting back in school for a week or two, it's going to be from now until the end of the year. So let's keep it 100, and that also includes New Year's Eve. That includes New Year's. We already know Christmas and all that's included, so I didn't have to say that. But all we're saying is take all of these tips and translate them into all of those days or those periods of time that you might be at home for extended amount of time, whether you have the opportunity to cook, which is a really great opportunity now since you're going to be at home for a couple of days. Definitely taking that time to do that meal planning. So we're going to tie into what we were saying beforehand and give you the time as of right now to really mix and match and see what you like, and not necessarily feel like you're being pressed to do so throughout the week on a regular work week. So that's one thing I want to say. This weekend we will have a new recipe I'm not going to tell y'all yet just exactly
Come
what
on,
it
Chef
is, but you
Deion.
know we're gonna be chefing it out as usual. We're gonna start doing the recording a little bit differently. I gotta get me an apron, man. We about to get on. We about to get on this thing. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
we got some things in the works. So like I said, just bear with us. But yeah, check out the website if you guys have any questions with anything. Definitely let us know below. Any comments, any questions, any concerns. We're more than happy to help you out with anything that you all have. Because remember, again, we're doing everything that we're doing right now on this podcast, not only for all of you, but somebody that might just be out there. So all we're asking is for you all to like and share with
three.
3 people. That's all we're asking. Okay.
Three
Right?
people.
That ain't hard. Your
Okay.
mammy, your pappy, your granny,
Like Uber driver, the deli clerk, and the cashier at Kroger. Tell everybody to go ahead and just come on to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe.
and wrap it up. That's it.
And there we
Yeah.
go.
So, but other than that, I mean, I don't really have much else to say, Joy. I don't know if you have anything you want to add in as well.
Surprisingly, I don't. So no, yeah, it's actually been an amazing episode. Of course, we're gonna see you guys. We should have another episode coming up next week before the holidays as well.
Yeah.
So it's not goodbye. So it's just I'll see you next week. Like we said, as always, like, share, leave us a comment down below. We love the feedback. We love to kind of get you guys some opinions on things for our next topic, on this topic, whatever the case may be. Definitely make your voices heard because, like we said, we're doing this for you guys. But until the next time.
We shall see y'all later. Take care.